Hi, this is Max Williams with United Real Estate, and today I'm in Western Henrico. More specifically, I am off the Skipwith Road corridor, and today we're going to take a look at a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, tri-level. This home, built in 1966, is located here in a nice, established West End neighborhood. If you're at all familiar with Central Virginia, you know that Western Henrico has some of the most expensive real estate. As far as area goes, we consider this area 22, and the Henrico County is comprised of 4 areas, and of course it's separated here by east and west. Each area has a corresponding number. Here in this lot, which is about 1/4 of an acre, we've got a pretty nice private backyard, privacy fence on one side, heavily wooded on the back, and then a privacy fence on the side that's directly ahead. Of course, you can see the large storage building. It looks like we've had some additions done here on this floor plan, and when we go inside, you'll be able to definitely tell. Wherever there is a tripping hazard, the government typically puts up red tape and little orange flags, so if you're blind, you won't trip and fall and hurt yourself. I wanted to point this heating and air system out here. This is pretty unusual. You don't see this a lot. When I look at this unit, the first thing I can tell is it's what we call a pack unit. It's very, very large, as you can tell. And I see this gas line here that is natural gas, and it's broken right there. Now that's very, very important, because one of the requirements for a government home, actually for any home that's going to have an appraisal, is the appraiser is going to want the utilities all active. So they're going to want to turn on the water, the hot water, the heat and air, make sure that that works. Obviously on this home, since the government is not willing to do any repairs, nothing at all, they won't even connect that pipe back, and they won't allow the purchaser to do it. Now we're in a situation where that could be an issue for your loan if you were not doing a renovation loan. This home does need a moderate rehab, so there's a good chance that somebody would be doing a renovation loan anyway. As we come in, we've got really good looking wood floors once they're refinished, but structurally they look like they're in great shape. A pretty classic floor plan for a tri-level. We come through to the formal dining room. This wall, a wall that probably was here, was opened up in order to give us a more open feel. I can almost guarantee you it was not open like that when they built this home. This kitchen is probably a complete gut. Go ahead, take out those original cabinets and just completely redo it. Your microwave used to be there, and your range would go right there as well. So we've got nice cabinet space in here, nice counter space in this kitchen as well. You could actually reconfigure it once all this was demoed and opened up. We're gonna go here through the back. It looks like they were in the process of doing some renovation. We see a lot of drywall here that just simply needs to be finished. It looks like they used to have carpet in here and throughout the rest of the first floor. Okay, one thing I wanted to chat about is I get a lot of calls almost daily from individuals interested in buying their first home, and they're typically the same types of questions. But today I got a really nice call from a nice lady, and she had some interesting questions, and I wanted to share those with you because it may be something for you to think about too. She was considering using me as her buyer's agent. She's already been pre-qualified, and she said, well, Max, how do I know what your performance is? How do I know that you're good? And I said, well, that's a great question. There aren't really a lot of analytics to go to really tell you if a buyer's agent is effective. She wanted to ask, how long does it take you to typically close a transaction? I said, well, that's probably not a good benchmark, because let's say I have 2 buyers and we have home inspections, and the home inspections come back with more work than the purchasers are willing to do on a bank or government owned home where they're not going to do any work. That's not really something that the agent should be penalized for. It just simply means it wasn't the right home for that buyer at that price. So I shared with her probably education would be the biggest factor. And I say that to say this: I don't consider myself in sales. I consider myself an educator, because if I educate individuals on how to buy a house, things to look for, things that they need to be aware of, how to protect themselves, how to get the best deal for their dollar. That's going to be on them to simply find a house that works for them as far as the aesthetics. So I, of course, will show them houses, but it's not my job to really push or to motivate someone to do that. Unlike many other types of sales where they're going to bug you, they're going to pester you, they're going to apply pressure, Max Williams will never apply pressure to anybody to buy a house. Max Williams will share information, both good and bad, just like I do on these videos. Everything I say on these videos isn't necessarily positive about a lot of these homes, but I want to give you a clear picture of exactly what they look like. I do the same thing when I'm working with buyers. There are actually homes where I will share with you that this probably isn't the best house for you. Everyone does not have the ability or the desire or the aptitude, for that matter, to do a moderate or major renovation. Some people just really need to buy something that's ready to go, sign the documents, and move in. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we've got to be honest with not only ourselves, but with me as an agent. I've got to be honest with my clients and let them know exactly what is probably the best move for them. I have no idea what that is, but there's a good chance it may contain some type of DNA. But once again, we rip all these carpets out and come in with new flooring. This house will show good as new. We have an upstairs here. This home is just over 2,400 square feet. The benefit of this floor plan is you got a lot of square footage for your money. The comparable sales, the lowest comparable sale I saw for this home was $310,000. And that just goes to show you that there's some pretty good potential equity in this home. The government has it listed for under 200. So even if somebody came in and spent 100,000, you would still be lower than the comps. So there is some really, really good potential equity here. One of the loans that would help facilitate that is a simple renovation loan. Combines the purchase price and the renovation cost together into one convenient FHA loan. If you have questions about this or any other home, or if you're looking to rent to own in this area and your budget is $1,250 or more, you definitely want to make sure you give me a call. We've got some great properties that are renovated and ready to go for you, rent to own as well. 402-7788. I can be reached on Facebook under Richmond Area Foreclosures, on YouTube under my name, Max Williams Realtor. Thanks so much for taking a tour. Have a great day.